Welcome to the channel. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Join me in today's video where I'll be doing a massive unboxing. I have 4 brand new Steeldive watches in front of me. I'll also be doing a mini review of a very popular and very well known Steeldive, the SD1970, but this is the PT5000 version that they've released. Now, I got these watches in the back end of 2021. It has been some time since I featured any Steeldives on this channel. Main reason is I didn't like the watches that they were coming out with, and some of them were way overpriced, well away from what Steeldive brought to us a couple of years ago. So this is Steeldive going back to the basics, and yeah, you've got some really great homages here, great prices as well. So without further ado, let's take the watches out the box and show you what I have for you today. So these are the 4 Steeldive watches that I have in front of you. Now, one of the great things about Steeldive, and going back to why I've bought these watches, is they've gone back to their very affordable roots, with very recognizable homages. So the price of all 3 minus this watch here is around $130, 95 to £100 roughly. So that is off the bat a very good price, sub $150. And as you know, they've got all the specs. You've got the ceramic bezel insert, you do have sapphire crystal, you've got Seiko NH35 or NH36 movements, full stainless steel constructions, and a water resistance of 200 meters, screw down crown, case back, etc. So they are fully specced out. So I think for that price, incredibly good value for money. Now, I will give you guys a quick look at least 3 of the watches, but the one that we will be reviewing today is arguably Steeldive's most popular watch, the Steeldive SD1970. Now, they have upgraded it for us and added a PT5000 movement, which is, I suppose, the next step they could have taken. This watch is absolutely incredible. They've done it just right. And the NH35 version, you can pick this up for around £65, so well under $100, which I think is absolutely incredible. So we'll give you first eyes on these watches and then go ahead with the review. On wrist today, yes, I did finally succumb to this. I got myself a Saab 33. So let's get on with it and give you guys a quick first impressions with these 3 watches, and we'll put down the SD1970 away. The first one I have for you is the Steeldive SD1977. This, of course, is homaging the Seiko 6105-8000. So this is the lesser known model. This actually came out before the 6105-8110 or the more popular Captain Willard. As mentioned, sapphire ceramic, automatic movement, stainless steel case construction. Also comes with a coinage bezel, stainless steel bracelet. Now, Steeldive, being Steeldive, haven't gone away from this stamped clasp, but they do provide a milled clasp I've seen on some of the listings, so that's worth getting. But having said that, watches like this really come to life when you put them on alternative straps, whether it's leather. My personal favorites are tropical style straps or waffle straps. It really adds character to these watches. So giving a quick once over, really nicely done case, signage on the crown, etc. Drill lugs, nice, good finishing on the case. And that's what Steeldive bring you, right? Very budget price and a really good level of quality, great finishing, and they are built well for the most part. They do suffer from QC issues, they are quite inconsistent, but as of late I do believe they have improved that greatly. So it feels okay. I need to really get all this plastic off, get my hands on this watch, and get ready for a full review with you guys. But everything else looks good. Wow, that bezel is very loud, but solid. No play, no movement. And what I find with Steeldive, they are very simple. You can see the watches that I've got here, matte black dials, Seiko-like indices, same handset, and overall the look is quite similar. And they also use the same style bracelet for more or less every watch, and I suppose that is cost saving, which they do kind of pass on to us. You can't deny that these watches do come in at a very good price. As mentioned, the 2 I have here on my right is the SD1972, which is a homage to I'd say the King Turtle actually. Yeah, both watches are priced at around £95 or $130, so you can't go wrong. Of course, they'll be linked within the description below. So that's the first one out the way, the SD1977, but I will follow up with a in-depth review. So now let's move on to the SD1972, and the first thing I'll tell you is quite weighty. I can definitely feel the weight in hand. And the reason I say it is a homage to the King Turtle, because they've added this Cyclops at the day and date window, which, you know what, magnification and clarity is spot on. So this is at least 2.5 times. And alignment looks okay, maybe it doesn't. I don't know, I'll look at that a lot closer after. But yeah, standard hour markers, nice bezel, really nice case. Again, drilled end lugs. Okay, solid end links on that bracelet. They have improved the end links. Like I said, it has been a while since I've looked at these watches, but yeah, standard bracelet, you know, the oyster style 3-link. But yeah, the end links look fitted a lot better machined. I like the polishing. I like that brushing on that case. So that's definitely another one to look at. Again, classical Seiko, very weighty. But, you know, they are coming into a crowded market as well with these, because there's loads of these homages, both of them actually now. Good. Okay. And now let's look at the third one, and probably by far the most interesting one. This is Steeldive's Pilot Watch. Now, I think this is the more significant piece amongst these three that I have here. And this is the little Pilot Watch. Two things which stick out for me. First and foremost, the case. It is a 36mm case. You know, the whole world's screaming for 36mm watches. Being a Pilot watch, I mean, great legibility. I do like what they've done with the dial as well. Great cathedralized hands, very lightweight, and just have a look at that movement. It is a quartz movement, but it is indeed a Seiko BH31 hybrid quartz movement. So you do have a 4 tick a second sort of beat rate. Now, the watch that comes to mind that does use this movement is the Escapement Time King Seiko homage. So it's good to see Steeldive actually looking at different movements. And is this dial slightly sunburst as well? Yes, it is. That is a very high quality dial. And I think this watch is actually going to be a really good watch. And I think it will be quite popular. The price for this is £60, $80, right? And I think that is ridiculous pricing for such a well-made watch. And I really do like that. It stands out so well to me. Decent leather strap. So that definitely looks interesting. I am most excited about this one actually. Now, let's get on to the watch that we are looking at today. As mentioned, it's the Steeldive SD1970T. This is the famous Captain Willard homage. Now, Steeldive have sold these in the absolute thousands, and I believe this must have been the first watch that I reviewed on my channel, and this is probably one of the first homages that I bought from AliExpress, so this is what kickstarted it all. In fact, I still have my version 1. Doesn't get much away, but you know, it's there for sentimental values, so let's keep that there. And you'll notice nothing really has changed except the movement. So the thing I want to do today is actually give it a once over to make sure that the quality is still consistent, and you know, they are still delivering a very good quality product. The price for this watch is again ridiculous. You can get this for under $150, so this comes in at $135, give or take, you know, $10-15 depending on where you get them from. So, and in the UK that is £100, so that is incredible value for money, I have to say, with a high beat movement and of course Steeldive's specifications. So with this watch, as mentioned, sapphire crystal with some slight AR coating. It isn't overpowering at all, which is a nice thing to see. Ceramic bezel insert, a 120 click unidirectional bezel. Let's have a check. Great resistance, really good consistency, no movement, solid. And let's just check alignment. And alignment's spot on as well. Now you'll see the date wheel, that is what gives this watch away, that it does have a PT5000 movement. As you can see, the lettering is slightly thinner than the Seiko version. And just have a look at the hands, you see a much smoother tick. This movement will beat at 8 ticks a second, or 28,800 vibrations per hour. A rated accuracy of plus or minus 12 seconds. The PT5000 movement is slowly becoming a lot more popular on AliExpress due to the shortage of NH35s, and a lot of suppliers are going towards this movement now because it is a more premium movement built in China. And the thing which I love about Steeldive, you know, it is pretty basic, but it does the job, and it does the job really, really well. They are very difficult to beat on value for money. So this watch in front of you, as you can see, does come with a stainless steel bracelet. You've got solid end links, and the fitment on these end links, it wasn't great on all the previous models, but looking at the back, that is machined a lot better. And the fitment is really good now, but the bracelet, you know, it does leave you wanting more. It does have female end links, which is good, so it should wear really good on smaller wrists. And Steeldive's trademark logo and the stamped clasp. So yeah, the bracelet is nothing special. I don't really want to take the plastic off as well, just to, you know, show you something which is box standard. Everybody has seen these. And going back to what I said, for me anyway, these watches, they really get into their own when you put waffle straps on them, tropical straps on them, leather straps. That is when they really show their character. But yeah, guys that are fond of bracelets, then like I said, you have a very decent option. Now I'm thinking, if you do want to get a different kind of bracelet, it might be possible to push this pin out and put this end link on something else. I've not tried anything, but it's worth a try. Really, really smooth brushing, and I've had so many of these watches in hand, and I can see a slight change on the brushing. It's a bit smoother. I remember on some previous models you could actually feel the brushing, you could see the lines and really feel them, but now they have added some more finer brushing, I believe. The crown fits in snugly between these crown guards, and you know, your thumb just rolls off this. Really nice. Crown is slightly smaller. When they went to version 2, they did make it slightly smaller, and therefore it just makes it tiny bit awkward trying to grip it and screw it in. And you can hear that PT5000 winding, and that winding is quite free, it's not restrictive. A few issues with PT5000 is if they're not oiled correctly, or they might have an issue, they are quite tough to wind. This one seems absolutely fine. As mentioned, black ceramic bezel insert. The dial has traditional Seiko like hour markers. You can see squares, a large rectangular baton at the 6 and at the 9, and you've got a dual tapered baton at the 12 o'clock. Printed Steeldive logo, printed text below above the 6, printed minute track on the dial, like a black plastic rehaut ring. Let's put some time graph and see how this PT5000 is performing. So crown up, watch is performing at +7 seconds. Face down, you're getting a +8 seconds, 290 amplitude, and the B error is still at around 0.1. And finally, face up, you're looking at +13, +15 seconds a day, so slightly out of specification. +300 on the amplitude, 0.2 on the B error, which has stayed consistent through all rotations. But yeah, that's slightly out of spec face up. This could be further regulated, which isn't difficult. And you know, you do get most of the PT5000s that I've had that are a lot closer to the 0. So that's really not that bad, considering it's a movement just fresh out the box. Of course, over time, as that movement kind of wears in, it will settle itself down. So yeah, another classic from Steeldive. As mentioned, they've sold thousands of these, and now they've released it with a PT5000 high beat movement, just to give you that much more value in the watch. And yeah, coming in at £100, I think it is a bit of a no-brainer. So I will link the store within the description. Feel free to check it out. Make sure you guys subscribe, and don't forget to tune in when I review the other models that I have. The SD1977, the SD8103. Definitely keep an eye on this one. And of course the SD1972, this King Turtle homage. So that's it from me today, guys. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.